Hello, y'all. It's me again. I have a curveball for all of you. I want to make Daryl Davis Secretary of State. Who is Daryl Davis, you might ask? He's a blues and boogie woogie piano player, and he's great with music. And not only that, if you watch Accidental Courtesy, you'll know he has an interesting hobby: befriending white nationalists. He's met and spoken with a lot of white nationalists and had many courteous conversations with them, and even convinced about 24 of them to leave their organizations because of their friendships with him. And he's a black guy, but actually I shouldn't say but, I should say and. I think that's just remarkable because he goes to KKK rallies all the time, and he was never armed during any of these I don't want to call them confrontations, but these meetings. And he was even offered a chance to have a gun by a Klansman who was like, the Klansman was like, woo, 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 woo. Don't, he befriended this Klansman. Was like, no, don't fuck with this guy. Don't mess with him. He'll kill you. And then since Daryl Davis was still insisting on going, and the Klansman offered him a gun, a Glock 17, to protect himself, but Daryl Davis turned it down, and the two met. He went anyway, and the two met, and they had a great conversation. They met several more times with him even coming over to his house, and he has since left the Klan, and the same leader in question has since left the Klan, and become even better friends with Daryl Davis. Because even when he was still in the Klan, he was promoted to Imperial Wizard, which is the highest you can go in that organization. And he said in a meeting, a big Klan rally, "I got more respect for that black man than I do you white niggers out there." I mean, wow, he called him a black man and not a nigger or anything like that. This guy is just amazing. And there have been a few cases where a chance encounter with a Klansman who was in the fire department. He was like, he was beating his girlfriend, and Daryl Davis was watching it, and he was like, "What are you looking at, nigger?" And Daryl Davis went, "I'm looking at you." And the two got in a fight. Daryl Davis kicked his ass. The police came, and the Klansman was eventually charged and convicted. But anyway, what's more is he's also talked with groups like Black Lives Matter and Nation of Islam, and he says they have actually treated him worse than the white supremacists generally do because they view him as a sellout. This man is full of knowledge about history, about international relations, because he went to so many different countries when he was younger. He is the son of a diplomat, and he was just going all over the place. And he met people from all over the world. With this black man's ability to befriend white supremacists and convince them to leave the Nazis or the Ku Klux Klan, I think it's like he has really closed the divide, crossed the divide, and he's built, he's an explorer, and he's charted into territory that you think would be impossible. I mean, think about it. People call him names like Uncle Tom, Uncle Ruckus, Oreo, Sambo, and things like that, but I mean, the diplomacy and the diplomatic skills that he has displayed over the past few years. He's been doing this for years, and he's never been shot or attacked at these rallies. And he's had many good laughs with them. And again, he's a musician, and music is the universal language. And as I said before, Daryl Davis for Secretary of State. I mean, we need a guy like this because he can talk with anybody. I mean, he's been in many heated debates. He's been called a nigger. He's been called, this, that, and the other. He's just been insulted, and, we built the civilizations, and you people lived in mud huts in Africa. Da, 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 da. he's heard it all. He's heard, we don't hate anybody, we just love our own, and of course we hate you, we want to enslave you and have you pick our cotton, and, all that jazz and bullshit that these racists spew. But in the end, they have to admit that he knows just as much, if not more, about their organizations and world history than they do. And, it's just, he's had I saw in Accidental Courtesy, a Klansman laughs at him and says, "You know more Klan history than I do." And it's like, I mean, this guy could be great on so many levels, because he can talk with people. I mean, he's done things that were unthinkable. I mean, he tried to publish his book, about called Clandestine Relations, and about his interactions with the Ku Klux Klan and other white supremacists. And several times his thing was rejected because it was just so absurd. It was like, we are a nonfiction publication. Please send us nonfiction. And it was just so outrageous that nobody believed it, but it was true. I've seen Accidental Courtesy, and it is an amazing documentary. I suggest you all watch it. And I think he could help breach the gap that we have with a lot of people. I mean, there's so many problems in this country. Well, not just this country, but in the world. I mean, Israel versus Palestine, North Korea versus South Korea, China, Russia, all these different places. It's like, with his diplomatic skills, I think we could have a much more effective foreign service to be able to avoid a lot of wars and have a lot more international cooperation. And that would just be amazing. Daryl Davis is amazing, and if you want to know more about him, look him up. What he does is just remarkable. Anyway, I hope you liked my video. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And if you can, leave a donation. It's for a good cause. See ya.